Ayvianna, welcome back to FrightFest. How has it been for you now?
You know, it's been wonderful. I love the new venue. We used to be across the road and now we're over here. So this is lovely. We keep getting bigger and better every time. I'm very grateful that FrightFest keep welcoming me back and keep giving me a platform. It's wonderful, you know, as a low-budget kind of independent film actress to be able to show our films on a big screen, Leicester Square, you know, the heart of London. So I'm just very grateful that they keep having me back. I'm lucky to be here.
And what do you think it is about FrightFest that keeps drawing all the audiences back? What do you think that this festival has that maybe some of the others might not have?
I mean, it's so warm. It's got such a warm heart. It's got such a great community. I'm on the Facebook group for FrightFest, which has like 6,000 members, and everyone's been chatting in the run-up to the festival, sharing tips, and even like before I came here, I was on the group and someone was leaving a review of a film they'd seen. So it's got that kind of family vibe. And even as soon as I walk in the door, I have people coming up saying hi. So I think it's so friendly and accessible. You know, there's no one here is snooty about it. Everyone's willing to have a chat. So it's got that lovely kind of energy.
And you're here at the festival with a couple of films. Can you tell me a bit about them?
So the first one I had screening is called Derelict, directed by Jonathan Zaurin. It's a kind of revenge thriller story. It's very gritty, hyper-realism. It's about a girl going after the man who killed her father. I play a young woman struggling with drug addiction, so it's a very meaty role, very difficult subject, quite hard to watch in parts, very difficult to watch. So I hope that people will really enjoy it. It's very well made, it's shot beautifully. And then my second picture is called Bogeyville. That's got a vastly different kind of energy. It's about vampires in America on a trailer park. Sean Cronin, quite dark, big spectacle, colourful. So yeah, I mean, they were both very different challenges for me, very different type of role. But I enjoyed both of them immensely.
And can we expect to see you back next year?
Oh, I hope so. Always, I hope so. You know, yeah, I've just shot a few films which I hope might be at FrightFest next year. So, you know, I always want to be here every year.
Well, I'm going to let you go and enjoy your evening. Thank you so much. Thank you. So, Dean and Pete, welcome to FrightFest. You're here with the film Derelict. How are you feeling about the screening?
Nervous, excited, absolutely. So waiting to see what the reaction may be.
Yeah, same. Really looking forward to seeing how people react to it. It's a very serious piece of work.
And
Sunday afternoon, maybe. I don't
Possibly.
know. Okay,
Let's see.
And Dean, this is your second film at the festival. So you had Members Club last night. Two very different films. How was the reaction from Members Club?
It was great. Loads of laughter, which we expected. I mean, it's not really everyone's cup of tea. We know that it's the kind of film that it can divide people, but for me, it's entertainment, and hearing people laugh is all we wanted from that film. People coming out of here thinking, that was a good bit of fun, you know.
And for Derelict, what was it about the script and the characters that made you both want to get involved?
Well, personally, for me, Jonathan's a great filmmaker. I've seen his previous work, and he offered me a part, a really nice part, you know, so I just jumped at the chance, really. I think if he'd asked me to be a bit of furniture, I probably would have said yes, you know. Got the right colour at the moment.
It's an interesting one, a very bleak one, so you kind of think, is this going to be a fun thing to do about the character, the writing, everything about it, storytelling. It's fantastic, and that's what the appeal is. You don't go in there thinking we're going to have lots of giggles, but yeah, everything you want as an actor to get your teeth into, I've said.
And given some of the the darker aspects of the script, how do you guys as actors sort of decompartmentalise so that you're not bringing all of that back home with you?
Well, weirdly, I liked taking a little bit back with me. Only a little bit, because I realised that people left me alone a lot more when you go in a pub or whatever, and so you can actually have a peaceful pint. But yeah, other than that, I didn't take anything else home, but I was going around with a goatee and started doing this kind of more of a walk. I'm quite a weedy guy, really, but I had to do this bit more of a macho thing, and you practice it at home. And I was like, yeah, there's some fun aspects to it, so I didn't want to... I took some bits away with me. Not now, I've let it... That was about a year ago.
I tend to drop character between takes, to be honest. I mean, even in our dark sort of scenes, we still had a bit of a laugh. But no, Pete's amazing because he's so different off screen than he is on screen. He really portrayed an evil little git in that film. So yeah, he's done amazing.
I think one of the strengths of this film is that, you know, as with a couple of other films at FrightFest this year, it could have been set in London, but the fact that it isn't, I think, really helps this film. You know, what's your guys' opinions on that?
Yeah, I think it's true. I suppose when you say it's we're doing a revenge film, you know, I think it's ten a penny, I suppose, and it's we're gifted in the fact that we were so restricted. You're not from Hereford, but us, the main crew, were from Hereford, Midlands, West Midlands, and it's good to just try and centre it there, and also we wanted to keep it kind of dystopian that it could be anywhere, I'd say. But yeah, not London. So, but you're from London.
I'm from London, and I do a lot of filming in London, so it's nice for me. It's like a holiday for me. You know, 3 hours up the whatever it is, the road. But yeah, it's always nice to see different areas on screen that's not London to show that, you know, films are everywhere. You know, the world doesn't just revolve around London. You know.
I'm going to let you guys go and prepare for your screening. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Jonathan, welcome to FrightFest. You are here with Derelict, which is going to be screening soon. How are you feeling about the screening?
I'm feeling very nervous. It's a film that's very much on the edge of genre, and so there's always a risk that at a genre film festival, maybe people will not, you know, it's not going to be the right mood or the right tone, and I am nervous. I hope they love it, but obviously I am very nervous about it. It's the first time it's going to be shown, so there's a bit of nervousness there, yeah.
And what does it mean to you to be part of FrightFest?
I mean, it's huge for me. I've been making films for a decade now, mostly short. This is my second feature. It's our first time at FrightFest. It's amazing to be in a festival that is the top genre film festival in the UK. You can't go much higher than this, and I think it's going to be an amazing way of launching this film. And yeah, of course, what's great is this huge community of people as well. They all seem very enthusiastic and supportive, and yeah, it's great. It's been great fun so far.
And where did the idea for this film come from?
So the idea came from an actual real-life murder that took place in my hometown when I was 19 in France, and it kind of I felt close to it because I went to school with one of the people that actually committed the actual act of violence, and the moment that it happened, obviously I felt horrified for the victims, but there was also the question of how do you reconcile this idea of this kid that you went to school with committing something this horrible? And so I always thought it would make a great film. It took almost 20 years to get to actually making it.
And one of the things that I really like about this film is your use of colour. Can you talk a little bit about your thought process with that?
There's two things with that, with the use of color and black and white. The first is I'm a huge cinephile. I love films of Park Chan-wook, and I love the director's cut of Lady Vengeance, in which it does something kind of similar, but in not quite the same way. And I thought of using it because I was researching the film, watching a lot of documentaries about the victims, and the thing that appeared to me was that it looked like there was people whose life had been drained. And for me, color in film is life, right? It brings life, and draining the color out of the scenes in specific moments allowed me to drain the character's life out at specific times. I was very conscious that black and white is mostly codified as the past in film, and so I had to find ways to recodify, in a sense, the black and white immediately, so that it wouldn't confuse people as to the temporalities, because it takes place in two different timelines. So that was a challenge, but we worked relentlessly. We planned every shot in this film so that we knew exactly when the color would change, at what point, who had to wear what, who had to be at what time, at what point in time, what were they doing, etc., etc. It was a huge challenge.
And for those that can't be here today at FrightFest, where can they follow on the internet for information about future screenings and updates?
So the best place to go if you want to keep up with what's happening with the film is the Derelict movie page on Facebook. I don't have the tag from the top of my head, but yeah, it's on Facebook. We're on Facebook. Follow me on Facebook. I'm very friendly, so this is probably the best place to start. But hopefully it's going to have a fruitful festival life, so people can catch it in many places.
Well, I wish you best of luck with the screening.
Sorry?
I wish you the best of luck with the screening. So Darren and Mikey, welcome to FrightFest. You're here with the film Derelict, which is going to screen soon. How are you both feeling about the screening?
Pretty nervous, to be fair. But there's been a lot of build-up to this, and we're just very eager to hear what people think of it.
Yeah, all the hard work's done, sort of, and now it's about how it's received, and we hope it's received with the full intention that we made it in, you know.
And this is, it's quite a tough watch in places. What was it about, this script and these characters that made you both want to get involved?
I think it was just the fact that it was so intense at parts, and it was going to be such a challenge for us anyway with our performances, that we liked the sound of the challenge. And working with Jonathan before on other projects, I was just eager to get back and work with him again on this one, which is the biggest one I think we've done.
Well, for me, no one else was offering me work, so I had no choice but to take it. So
fair enough. And another thing that I think is really good about this film is, in this story, we've seen it before in a way, but it's always London. It's always some big city. But here, it's very much more. There's countryside in places and stuff. Why do you think it is important that British film is showcasing that places outside of London do exist?
For that reason, places outside of London do exist. I can't stand London. I'm from London. I just think it's washed out. It's overused. We've saturated with London films, and yeah, it's just good to get away and see that on screen and hear it in the voice as well. Not just people that sound like me. But yeah, very, very important. I think very important.
It steps away from that copy and paste aspect that a lot of other films have, and it highlights and showcases that anything, anywhere can be art.
I think it also works for the viewer at home. When you're watching something that is maybe set somewhere like London, if you're not living in London, you can detach yourself from it. Whereas in Derelict, this is a much more recognisable locations. There's a lot of footpaths, underpaths. These are places that a lot more people experience. So I guess it's potentially going to maybe affect them more so than something in London.
Yeah, taking that everyday and ordinary sights, and make you maybe look over your shoulder the next time you go under an underpass.
And for those that haven't seen Derelict, they're not going to be here at FrightFest. Why should they keep an eye out for this film, on the festival circuit and getting a release? Why do you hope that they take a chance on this film?
I think the first reason is because finally you got someone that actually cares about the art of the film and not the after party. Jonathan's a serious filmmaker. He deserves a lot of credit for what he's done with his team. A very, very small team. And on the budget he had, he's done... I can't really describe it. I'm a filmmaker myself, and when I look at this film and what he's done and the team, I'm blown away. And I say that with the truest of, he deserves to be, put up there. Yeah, he does.
Yeah, I think it's important to support these kinds of films because, who knows, one day it's going to become maybe a rare thing, and then it'll be a shame, and then you'll be kicking yourself that you didn't take that chance. And, that's cool.
Well, thank you so much. I'm going to let you go and enjoy your screening. Thank you. So, Suzanne, welcome to FrightFest. You are here with Derelict, which screens later. Firstly, how does it feel to be at FrightFest, and how are you feeling about the screening?
Incredibly excited to be here at FrightFest. Nervous about the screening, but equally excited too. I'm so excited that people get to see it, and yeah, very proud.
And you're the lead character in this film. What was it about her that sort of jumped off the page and made her somebody that you wanted to play?
As soon as I read the script and as soon as I saw the character of Abigail, I knew that I wanted to play her. It's such a great opportunity to play somebody not only so relatable, but who's had this incredible journey to the point at the start of the film, and then to portray that forward in such a badass way that is very cool and very exciting, but also very true and very raw. And it's an absolute privilege.
And she is a character that's dealing with, she's had a bereavement in the family, and she's in a very dark place. Did you have to, how did you prepare for that role? Did you do much research into people that have, had similar experiences?
I think even as an audience member, you're going to be hard pressed to find anybody who hasn't experienced these levels of grief, and I just think that's partly why she's so relatable. I prepared, a lot by researching into where she is in that moment. It's that moment, fresh moment, and that moment of feeling that there is some justice to be gained in that moment too. So it's putting yourself in that situation of, we all say, I'd never do that, but there's always that moment where actually, if driven to, would you? And it's that would you moment that's so exciting, and as the plot takes its twist and turn, you kind of find out, would she, wouldn't she? As I'm sure many people can relate to having those feelings. Yeah.
And something that I love, we've spoken about this before, is the fact that it's not London, it's a different part of the UK. And I kind of almost feel that it makes it more uncomfortable because, these are locations in this film that most of us experience on day to day. Has it made you sort of maybe look at the country slightly differently?
It's great to have that contrast of this beautiful countryside with such a dark story, and one of the locations specifically in the film of having this derelict building and the broken glass and the needles and the bottles and everything on the floor, to then contrast that with walking outside and seeing these beautiful green landscapes. I feel like just hones in that poignance of, in the most beautiful place and in the most beautiful life, there can be a real darkness.
And for people who can't be here tonight to watch the film, why do you hope that they keep an eye out for this film? Why should people be checking it out?
Because of the story. The story, as soon as I read the script, I thought this story needs to be told. Jonathan will tell you more about the story and where it's come from, and the fact that a lot of it is based on true events. And then the characters themselves are so incredibly diverse and intriguing that when you put those things together with an incredible filmmaker and the absolute beauty of the artistic, license on the camera, it's a winner for me.
I'm going to let you go and enjoy your screening.
Thank you.
Thank you.